everybody, welcome to my channel. That's right, a homeschool. My name is Mrs. T. In today's video, I am calling out me. I want to have a really honest discussion here about overspending for curriculum and overbuying resources, because I have way overpurchased resources for both preschool and the kindergarten years. This is 2 years in a row where I've made some of the same mistakes. So I took a step back and I reflected upon why. And I came up with 7 reasons and 7 things that I realized have contributed to me overspending and overbuying curriculum. And then I also want to highlight 3 pieces of curriculum that I probably shouldn't have purchased this past year and why I shouldn't have purchased them. And then I want to talk about what I'm going to do for implementing those and ensuring that I still use the resources that we have. So let's go ahead and have this conversation. It's meant to be a really transparent, open discussion here. I would love to hear your tips and tricks down below. Let's start this conversation and let me know if you are also struggling with overspending and over-purchasing curriculum. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. So we're going to start first with the 7 reasons that I came up with and things that have contributed to me overspending. One of the things here is, so number 7 here is that I didn't have a vision. When I was planning the year, before I committed anything, I feel like I didn't have a clear understanding of what my ultimate goals were. And this is on a high level, but also a vision per subject. So for example, I knew I wanted to cover language arts, and I kind of acquired a lot of language arts resources. And it wasn't until I had too much that I was like, okay, but what am I trying to achieve? I did not set those goals or a vision for that subject or for the year before purchasing curriculum, and that was a mistake because it was almost like I was planning on having that vision come from the curriculum and the pieces that I purchased rather than the other way around. I should have properly come up with a vision or at least an idea of something that I wanted to accomplish and then find the pieces to fit that, not the other way around. And I think that that was detrimental, and I way overpurchased because I didn't really know what my end goal was. I knew I had these subjects, I knew I wanted to cover certain things, but that was basically it for part of it. So that was dangerous. Number 6 here is buying curriculum out of excitement or buying resources out of excitement. It's finding something, whether it be on YouTube or just because you're perusing, seeing something in person and saying, wow, this is amazing, and purchasing it. I way overpurchased because I did find things that I bought out of excitement. I'm like, this is so cool. We need it. We didn't need it. What I needed to do is start a list that has the things I'm excited about and revisit it later, because that excitement might wane, and 2, I might be perfectly excited about 6 other things that do the same thing. I don't need them all. So buying out of excitement was a huge contribution to me overspending and overcommitting on resources and curriculum. Number 5, I bought way too early in the planning process. So what I needed to do is, again, it relates kind of to that first one, which was the vision. I really needed to take a step back and get through my planning process for the year, come up with those goals, come up with the vision, come up with a flow and an idea, again, of what we were trying to achieve, and not buy any curriculum until I had already gone through a pseudo planning with the information provided by the resource. So for example, Bookshark, they have their whole scope and schedule. What I should have done was look at the scope and schedule and see if that was going to fit the kind of planning, the kind of year that I was planning for, rather than say, this looks amazing, I think this is going to fit, and buying it too early. I should have practiced planning with the resources and the information about the resources online. Now, if there's not enough information out there about planning, it's not the right fit. I need to recognize, and I've kind of learned that if a piece of curriculum doesn't indicate how long it's going to take or how many weeks typically, or, that a general recommended flow, if that's not readily available, before purchasing the curriculum, it's the wrong piece of curriculum. I needed to find something that I could practice planning with before committing. And yeah, buying too early in that planning process was a problem. All right, number 4, buying bundles and multiple years worth of material or multiple subjects worth of material at one go. There are so many companies out there that do these really great mega bundles where you can get like multiple years worth of curriculum at once. But the problem with that I have found is, one, I'm so new to homeschooling that I don't know what it's going to look like or what we're actually going to need in a year. Or at least I didn't, and I'm learning, but I can't, by committing to so much material at one go, if it doesn't work, you guys, now you have a wasted resource that you could have used that money on something else. It was a dangerous game for me to purchase bundled and multiple years worth of material at one go. Even though it is a deal, it's cheaper per year, it can be more costly in the long run because I'm making a commitment that I might not have chosen to make if I had used some of the curriculum earlier on. So that was definitely something I've learned. All right, reason number 3. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to be very transparent, being too loosey-goosey with my budget, not having an established budget. I'm very fortunate, my husband and I both work, and we have been saving for homeschool for a while. So although we still want to keep our spending on homeschooling relatively defined, I did not define that budget well enough. I should have been more strict with my budget and knowing what was appropriate quantity of money to spend. Another thing that I also kind of did that's tied to this is I created budgets, but I tended to buy, again, like I bought like a multiple year bundle thing, which covered multiple years. So I kind of wrote that off like, well, it's gonna cover a lot of years. But then I bought additional resources and I didn't do my budgeting properly. And that was a real issue. I think that not having a clear idea of how much I'm willing and wanting to spend and not knowing what that equates to is very dangerous. So yeah, that was number 3. It's embarrassing, but there you have, you guys, loosey-goosey with my budget. All right, and number 2, falling for sales. Now, of course, sales are great. When there's a piece of curriculum that you know that you want, it's fabulous to buy it at a discount. However, I tended to buy things because they were on sale, and I'm talking from workbooks to, and I do this with books too, workbooks to books to curriculum to toys to so many other things, board games. We don't need it all. Just because it's on sale doesn't mean it's a good purchase and a good idea. So what I really should have done is instead have a list of the things that I want to have, monitor those, but just because something's on sale does not mean that I needed it. And then finally, you guys, my last, I would say, contribution to overspending and probably my biggest downfall is perusing curriculum and resources just because. So while I'm planning, of course, we want to do our research and we want to explore and try to find the thing that would fit the best for our families. But if we're in the middle of the year or if things are going well, I need to halt myself, rein myself in, and I cannot peruse curriculum and resources just because. I feel like by constantly looking at other options that are out there, even if what I'm doing is working, I feel like it makes me feel like, 1, I'm missing something, or 2, there is better content out there, and it just snowballs into way overspending for me. I feel like I didn't really realize that I was setting myself up to be dissatisfied because I was perusing just to peruse. I was window shopping just to window shop, and that can be a little bit dangerous for my personality. So there we go. Those are the 7 reasons that I kind of came up with in my reflections, what has contributed to me overspending. Now let's talk about 3 pieces of resources or curriculum that I purchased this past year that I really should not have purchased. Now, to be clear, all of these are wonderful pieces of curriculum. This is not against the curriculum at all, but I shouldn't have purchased for us. So the first one is Bookshark Level A Reading with History. It looks like a wonderful program. we love all the books that are listed in here and we're excited to explore them. But reality is we already had a perfectly good program that was relatively comparable, and that was Build Your Library Level 0. In addition, before I purchased it, like I saw the list of the books and I saw the scope and the sequence, but I did not practice planning for something like that. And I didn't actually take a look at the curriculum and really understand how much literature was being called out at one time. And if I did do that properly, I probably would not have purchased it, just because it is too much content for our family right now. I have 2 young kids and my incoming kindergartner is a little bit on the younger side. So to sit down and have like multiple novels and reading so much every single day for just one piece of curriculum, for just history and literature, is too much. It was too much. So it was not the best choice for us to buy it. The second piece of curriculum that we really should not have purchased is Saxon Math. Again, this program looks absolutely fabulous and we are still going to try to use it, but reality is, you guys, I already had Matthew C and I already had Schiller Math and I already had mathematical reasoning. There was no reason to grab another program, even though I got it for a really good deal. Again, that was the sale. I did not need it. I should not have been perusing math curriculum because I already had the math curriculum that we needed. So that was piece number 2. And piece number 3 that I purchased this past year that I really did not need was the Blossom and Root bundle. I bought at once the 2 volumes of early years and the kindergarten levels. That's 3 years worth of material. And I bought like that mega bundle, and I really should not have done that. It was, again, it's too much. And when we went through early years volume 1 with my preschooler, with my rising kindergartner, when he was a preschooler, it wasn't the best fit for us. And we are still like, there's a lot that we want to try to use with Blossom and Root, but now there's like this big sense of like, oh my gosh, this is a huge purchase that we made that might not be the best fit for our family. Still looks like a wonderful piece of curriculum, but it's kind of hard for us to implement here at home for XYZ reasons. So I should not have purchased it as a bundle. I really should have only purchased that first volume, volume 1, or waited until kindergarten and whatever, just purchase 1 year at a time or 1 subject at a time. That would have been a better fit. Okay, so we have those 3 pieces of curriculum that we probably should not have purchased. Let's talk about how we're actually going to implement them and what my strategy is going forward. All right, so for Bookshark, for example, this is meant to be a single year program. We are picking and choosing right now the poetry and Mother Goose, and then we are picking an assortment of novels and novel studies from there. But we're not touching the history and we're not going to be finishing the read alouds. That will be tied into next year because I wanted us to focus on the first one we purchased, which was Build Your Library Level 0. So we are going to be pulling a couple of resources, but we will be reserving Bookshark, the majority of it, for next year. So we're taking a 1-year program and splitting it into 2. Okay, let's talk about Saxon Math. Saxon Math Level K is something we are going to try to implement in this upcoming year. I have it, and the program does, again, look pretty amazing. But in order to pull that in, we've had to compromise by reducing the amount of time that we're spending on another piece of curriculum that we were really looking forward to, and that is Schiller Learning Math at Home. So we are going to have to reduce that in order to make Saxon work, but I do want us to still try it. We've purchased it, and we're going to try to make it work. Okay, and then our third piece of curriculum, the Blossom and Root one, we are actually, I haven't released yet my arts video, but we are going to pull out the original volume 1, the early years volume 1 from Blossom and Root, and we are actually, as a family with my preschooler and my kindergartner, I've decided we're going to try the art and music study again, and I'm going to try to complete volume 1 with my preschooler in this upcoming year, and I will have an updated curriculum video for him. So we're going to focus on volume 1. For the kindergarten year that we have, we are picking a couple of things from the bundle that we had purchased, such as the nature study and the language arts We are pulling a lot of the picture books and things like that from there, but we are going to do it on a little bit of a lighter schedule. And the goal here is the following year, if we can make the art study work from the early years volume 1, the following year we'll do volume 2, and the year after that we will try to do the art and the music from this kindergarten year. So we will be a little behind, but I don't feel like you can actually be behind on art. I think that this is something that's a perfectly acceptable thing for us to do, and I am stopping myself from looking at other art curriculum that is out there. What made me think about this, you guys, is I was actually on Teachers Pay Teachers trying to figure out what we were going to do for the arts, and I was like, what the heck am I doing? I have stuff. And that's kind of what was one of the reasons why I was thinking about this video. And yeah, that is it, you guys. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think. It's a little bit embarrassing. It is a hard lesson to learn here in the homeschooling world, is not to overspend, and it's really, really hard for me to actually rein it in, and I don't know why. I don't know why it's so hard, but I hope that having this reflection, coming up with this list and recognizing it will help me in the future. And then I did also post not too long ago a to buy or not to buy video, and I'm not even kidding you. Creating that video and just talking about it helped me realize, like, I don't need this stuff. So I might be posting more content like that in the future if I feel like I'm going to go buy something. Like, maybe I need to have a quick video to talk about it. All right, everyone, you have a wonderful day. Try not to overspend. Know you guys are doing absolutely fabulous with your kids. You have wonderful resources. The best resource is you, and I will talk to you later. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.